This is Joe with the Picky Painters here today. We're doing some grain filling. We have our Aqua Coat. This is the white. I like the white so you can see more easily if you have fill in the grain or not. You can get the clear, it doesn't matter so much. All right, so what we're using this for is just to seal the grain. So if we look at this cabinet, we can see all the holes just where the grain sucked in the paint. If you don't do something with this, it's gonna look like this possibly after the finish. So we did 2 coats of primer on this already. We have not sanded yet, but we're gonna put this on, wipe it off, and then sand. So we'll see how we fill this grain right in front of us here. Mainly we're just going for the dark areas. These ones are just really bad. And this stuff will not fill holes like that. So don't plan on doing that. We're just doing, that's gonna be like another step. We want to try to not get too much in the crevices too. You hear me over there too?
Yeah, I know, man. I've literally done this.
All right, so I didn't do this one section just to show the difference here. I'm just wiping it off with a rag. Make sure we got gloves on. This stuff does not clean off your hands very well. When it dries, it's very hard. So we don't want to make a harder job sanding. But as you can see, we sealed the grain. We just did this little section that I didn't do. Sometimes they're really dry and you could potentially have to do this step twice. But usually once is plenty. Just as long as you don't see a ton of black like this section here. That is the grain filling process. And then you want to try to make sure you don't leave any excess crevices or even on the surface. And then also too, we should check the edges. This one's not too bad. This has a little bit of separation here. I'm not gonna mess with that. These edges look pretty good. Sometimes you have a lot of this going on. Can you see that? The holes. So you might want to do a little bit on there. This door is not too bad. But just kind of do it in the spots that need it. This one I don't think is much of anything either. We'll do this and then we're going to do the front. This front is not too bad either. The middle is pretty solid. It's these edges. And this too, we can't really get too crazy with that because then we'll start filling the crevice, which we don't want. If you get too much in the crevice, it's good to have a tool around that you can scrape out. Do we have one of those flat tools around here? You want to get that razor blade for me? A putty knife would be more ideal for this. You're going to be careful when you're using these too, so they can snap. Fly through the air. We'll wipe. Brush it down in the areas that needs it. And then if you got maybe a little too much in the area, you can use this to get some out, but just very gently. All right, and that is